All right, y'all, we back at it. Let's see. Let's see what it do now. We're gonna check the sound. See how it sounds. All right. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, we are the dynamic duo of the Couples Lounge Show. Here to do what God has called us to do. When I tell you the last 2 weeks, this setup is something that we have always done. So I don't know why now it chooses to be choppy when we start out. But you know what? We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep going. Y'all come on back in the building where we talking about what somebody should have told you about relationships. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you say what's up in the comments. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We love to acknowledge our family members that come in. This is what I want to tell you all about. If you're in the DFW area, if you are a woman 21 years plus, I have a master class that will begin on Monday titled The Power of Me. I'm calling every woman that desires to have a breakthrough, that is looking for healing, that is tired of being stressed out, for the woman that has fear. She knows she has goals and dreams, but fear is preventing her from going after it. I'm calling wives, especially wives, because when you get better, your husband gets better, your children gets better. I'm calling mothers because right now the world needs us as women to step up in our greatness. And so, y'all, this class is going to be every Monday at 7 p.m. All you have to do is send me an email, we will win, at Candace Tuck, and say, yo, Candace, I want to register. I want to be in the building. I'm ready for my next level. I'm ready to unlock my truest potential, my best self. And y'all, we're going to go on a self-discovery journey. Many people do not know who they are. They do not. If I asked you right now, who are you? And if you start giving me your titles, you do not know who you are. So again, this is the last day. This is the final day for you to register so that you can reserve your seat to be in the building. The Power of Me Masterclass begins on Monday. And we got one more thing, and we'll talk about that though later. So y'all ready for a conversation of somebody should have told me? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Okay, y'all let us know y'all back in the building. Let us know you back in the building. Say what's up. Say good morning, Melody, TD, all our normal, faithful followers. And I need to delete that off our page, the other ones. Baby, you want to say what's up to the people?
What it do? What it do? But I can delete. You don't have to delete.
No, because right people are going to come on. So can you talk to the people while I delete that old one?
What's up, y'all? Ready for the you see the finals yesterday? What it do? What it do? This coffee got me hot. I can't be drinking coffee in the summer, I see. Hometown bad. There we go.
All right, y'all. So we are having a discussion about what somebody should have told me. And so I wanted to share an experience that me and my husband had probably about a week or so ago. And so what happened was this. So we're in the midst of redoing our life insurance, right? And so we ended up getting a quote or whatever. And so we had a conversation about the quote. The conversation, I would say, kind of took a turn in the form of, how would you say? It basically, we wasn't on the same page somehow, some way. And so my husband had asked me for the guy's number to call. And in that moment, I was like, but why? Like, I've been handling I was handling it up until then, so I didn't know why he wanted the number. And so in him asking me for the number, I said no. And then you want to say your part?
No, go ahead, finish.
No, after that, after I said no, what was your experience on the other end?
I was going to, you want me to go ahead and do it now? I was trying to wait till you finish with everything, then add my.
So after that happened, he was upset. He got mad. And we ended up getting off the call. And in my mind, I always go into reflection mode. Like, well, how did that end up like that? How did we go from a normal conversation to how we ended the call? And so I started searching for answers. So I'm like, Lord, lead me. And so I ended up going on EXO's marriage page. And I don't know what I clicked on, but it said women desire security and men desire respect. And so what spoke to me in that moment is that my husband probably felt disrespected. So I held that, and then when we got home, I want to take y'all through all the conversation, but we ended up having a conversation, and then I'll let him fill in, and then I'll come on why I wanted to share this with
y'all. No, it was.
You need to do something about that.
What?
Because you always clear your throat before you talk. You do.
Is that a problem?
I don't know if you realize it. Just wanted to acknowledge that. On certain topics, you're always clearing your throat before you start talking.
That was from last night. But I was upset. I was glad we wasn't face to face when we had this conversation, because I'm very glad because I don't know how it would have went, honestly. Because if I'm asking for you for something and you telling me no, like I'm your son, your child, or something like that, and for you to honestly think it was okay to do was mind blowing to me. It really was. If I sit and think about it, that's just truly, that was really mind blowing that you honestly thought it was okay to do.
Now be mindful of the conversation that we had last night, okay? Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Okay.
Okay. That's all the parts you want to share?
Yeah, it was just, I was upset that you thought it was okay. But in the long run, the fact that you were able to self-reflect and realize your mistake was huge to me. That's big, because a lot of times that's hard for people to do. To realize I said or did something wrong and to apologize for it, without coercion, without me, I don't know, being mad, and then you just want to keep it. Without any of that, you was woman enough to, babe, I'm sorry, I was wrong for that. To me, that was huge. Anytime a woman apologizes, it's very big. Seriously. So for you to do that was big.
Oh my God. Women, we know y'all apologize. Women apologize. And because it can go both ways. Because, and I'm not even gonna say, that's almost like that one somebody should have told me moment.
What?
Is assuming that men always own up, men always apologize, women the ones that's as hard to apologize, when that is not the case. That's one of those things that are on a person type thing. I would say that it's a character type deal. And so I wanted to share this story with you all, a little bit of it anyway, because after the apology, Mom never said anything about it until last week on the show, where I made a comment, something about God, and he said on last week's show, he mentioned that he prayed to God, that I don't know in depth what his prayer was, but right after that, I came and apologized. And so hearing him say that on the show, I felt like exactly what that journey was. Although I did not like how it unfolded, I didn't like how a regular conversation ended up like it ended up. But if in the end my husband was able to see the power of going to God, praying, and seeing God answer that fast, I was like, okay, if that's what it was, and I wanted to share that because sometimes we get into situations, we get into conversations, and we don't know the why, and we might find ourselves asking, well, why this, why that, and understand that it can all work for our good. It is bigger than what you think if you both go on a journey of discovering what the why is about. And so for me, I was even able to reflect even further, like before I even got home, as to what made me say no. What, because it definitely was not to make him feel disrespected, or it wasn't to make him feel like a little boy. It had nothing to do with all of that, but I know why I did it. And so it was a reflection moment, to make sure also that it doesn't happen again, because I know how it made him feel. So I get to stop in a moment where I was saying this the other day with another couple, is that Holy Spirit will try to prevent us from making certain decisions or saying certain things. And in my asking him on the phone, why did he need the number? Because I asked a couple of times. I think that was like opportunity for me in that moment to make a better decision, and I didn't. And so I wanted to share that with you all on today. So you just never know why, but if y'all are both in a place of where you want to be better, you want your marriage to be better, you want your relationship to be better, you can always come back and turn the situation around. All right? All right. So, this is my question for us on today to discuss. So, y'all don't mind if I turn to my husband so we can discuss and have a conversation?
Okay.
And that is, when a man asks a woman to be married.
When you marry.
Or he's thinking about marrying her.
When I'm thinking or when I'm asking?
When you get ready to ask.
Okay.
Is it that he wants a wife or that he wants a marriage? So you think about
a wife. I think women
I said men. I ain't say nothing about women.
You can't tell me how to answer my question, so stop. I'm gonna answer it. I believe.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Okay, men want a wife. I think in general, women want the marriage, the wedding, the bridesmaids. Men don't care about that. We don't care about the wedding. We want the wife.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking that is because there is a difference in wanting. And I'm not saying the wedding. I'm not talking about the wedding. I'm talking about the marriage.
Okay, explain that. Break that down.
I think
maybe I misunderstood that.
Men do desire the wife, but when you want the marriage, that means that you are ready to be a husband, and you're ready to
when you want the wife, you ready to be the husband?
No, some men just want the wife. I want what she brings to the table.
Okay.
I want the kids.
I want all the good stuff that I get.
I want the punani. I know I can get.
Okay.
I want that.
That's the wife.
That's the wife.
Okay.
But do they want the marriage? Because if you want the marriage, you want to be married, then you understand the dynamics of what a marriage will bring to your life. Not just the wife, which she's a part of, the marriage. And so you're saying, I'm ready to be a husband. I'm ready to take this woman and give her what her father gave her or better. Right. I'm ready to
we want the wife.
Okay, so speak
in general. I'm not speaking in absolute. I am not speaking in absolute. This does not apply to every man. We don't know what that entails, the marriage, when we first say I do. Now, unless you get married in your late 50s and 60s, and you might be a little wise at that point, a lot wise at that point, and you're still ignorant to the fact, because if you've never done it, you don't know. Exactly. But in general, we want the wife. We are looking living a marriage, being selfless, loving your wife, and the way God calls you to love her, sacrificing a lot of things, your wants, desires at times for your wife and children to have theirs first. And I mean, no, you don't know. You truly, for the most part, in general, men do not help women. People don't know the design, the purpose, the intricacies that go into being happily married and doing it in a way that is pleasing to God and beneficial to you both. You don't know that. Most people don't going in. It's something you learn. You have to study, you have to apply, you have to go through the ups and the downs and realize, yeah, I can't do that one. Yeah, can't say that.
So you had a father in your house. So you
Yes.
saw how you saw even your dad as a husband.
Right.
So I don't believe that when you entered the marriage, you were looking for the marriage.
I wasn't. I didn't know.
You didn't know what?
What I just said. All the things that came with the marriage or being married.
Being a husband.
Being a husband, yes.
Even though you saw it.
Yes. From the outside looking in, I just thought, hell, love your wife, love your children, be faithful to your wife, go to work, go to church. And that was pretty easy. That's easy to do. It's more to that, more to being a husband than going to work. Loving your wife and your kids and being faithful. It's a lot more to that. But you don't see the inside of your parents' marriage, and you shouldn't. I should know, you should know the deep, in-depth conversation that your mom and dad was having behind closed doors. You know, there's a lot to go with that you should know, that you don't know, and hell, when you're young, you're not even looking for. You have no idea what you think you seeing two people to live together. You either seeing them live together in harmony and love, or you seeing them kind of divided but love each other, or flat out hating each other. That's what you see. You don't know what you're truly looking at until you get in it. Hell, single people that's dating have no clue if they've never been married.
And that's what I was supposed to say. Like a lot of, I saw a post, and a lot of a lot of women are desiring a husband.
Right.
And you're in this relationship, and you are assuming when he asked me to marry him, he actually want to be married.
Right.
But then too, in the not knowing, you kind of assume that
you want to be married. You know what?
That him taking you on as a wife means he wants to be married. And it doesn't, if y'all are following us, it doesn't necessarily mean he wants the marriage aspect of things. And so I think that's definitely a conversation. Like once y'all start on the path of talking about marriage, that it is, why do you want to be married? And if a man ain't talking about what his role is as a married man, as a husband, because I no longer want, to be sleeping around, or I'm ready for somebody that I can protect, somebody that I can love unconditionally. And I know there seem to be conditions. There are conditions. I hate to say it, in relationships. But I'm ready to love you in a special type of way. I'm ready to protect you. I'm ready to honor you. I am ready to be all of this to you, and not just what you're going to give me. And I just think those are some conversations that single people need to have. Even if you are dating and you see how he is being as a man towards you.
Right.
The moment, we've said this on other shows, the moment that you say I do, things, you change. There's like a veiling coming over y'all that change is now shifting, or something is shifting. So
let me ask this real quick. Let me get on the side road. I saw somebody made a post. Steve Harvey said that being committed or faithful to someone has a shelf life.
Of being loyal.
Of being loyal. Has a shelf life. Mm-hmm. In other words, you keep mistreating me, you keep not loving me, you keep me, and that me being loyal to you will expire.
I saw something like that. What's your thought on it?
I asked you, woman, don't do that.
Say that again.
That being faithful, being loyal to someone has a expiration date. It can have an expiration. It has an expiration date.
I think I logged out of that when he started talking about that. I think it can. I definitely think it can.
We know it can.
Everybody's not gonna keep putting up with that, but I think I think I do remember. But he was telling that woman like, you need to basically walk away. Was that the sum like?
I didn't watch it all.
Okay, I think that's what it was.
I just saw that.
You at some point you can't keep being loyal to this person, whether it's a friendship or whatever. At some point, you got to take your loyalty off the table. I think some relationships you do have to walk away from. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a job, whether it's...
So it does have a shelf life, in other words.
I believe so, but I think it's different when it comes to marriage. I think it's different when it comes to marriage.
Why? Explain.
My loyalty to you?
Why? With divorce is rapid, that's a shelf life.
I feel like it's different. People don't take marriage serious now. I won't say nowadays. Let me take that back. I hate that word nowadays. I just think people don't understand the magnitude of marriage at this age, and it's so easy. People are so quick to leave their marriage. And so, yeah, people got a shelf life because they like, oh, well, I ain't putting up with this. I ain't putting up with that. You got to understand when you meet a married couple and one that has been married for, say, for instance, like us, been married almost 21 years, you understand that you have these valley moments in your marriage. You have hills of where it might not have been good at this. It might have been good for the first 5 years, and then you had 5 years where y'all was straight up trying to figure out everything. You didn't like each other, this, that, and the other. And then the next 5 years, oh, it was amazing. And then you had another situation that caused y'all to have a lot of more growth moments. But nobody wants to be loyal to the process.
I agree.
Don't nobody want to be loyal to the process. So. Okay,
my bad. I veered us off.
And so, I just would say this: when you are getting ready to be married, whether you're a man or a woman, you got to understand that it's not just about having a husband. Because I can see some women, I just want a husband. I want a man that did this, but you don't realize what the marriage is about to call you to do as a woman.
I think more women want that than men. If it wasn't,
I think more women understand. I think more women understand the marriage piece.
I don't.
Oh, I definitely do.
I think it's evenly. I don't know. I believe it's even. I don't think it's more so men, more so women.
That want the marriage?
Listen to what I'm telling you. I believe it's even equally yoked that neither one knows what the hell they're getting into. These women have no clue what a wife entails, how she's supposed to speak, act, all of that. In general, they just want a man. I'm tired of being lonely. I'm tired of being by myself. I need someone. I want someone. So I'll be a wife, and then you get in that wife role, submit. What? I don't know. And you have no clue what it's like to be a woman. It ain't easy to be a wife, a godly wife. Especially when your husband ain't acting right and you supposed to still do what you supposed to do and act the way you supposed to act and speak the way you supposed to speak in spite of his behavior. That ain't easy.
It's not easy.
And most women have no clue about it. So
you talk to me. Ain't nobody, but ain't nobody talking back to you.
I'm sorry. But so I think it's equally. I don't think men or women really understand. I think neither one. I think we're right here.
No.
I think we're together.
No.
You think more women? Okay, so let me ask.
Okay.
Let me make sure I'm hearing what you're saying. So what you're saying is more women are aware of their roles as a wife, going in, or what their role should be as a wife, and what they should be doing going into a marriage, than a man knows about his role as a husband going into marriage. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I just think more women want to be married than
I
men,
agree with that. I agree with that too. But women,
most women
are aware of the submissiveness. That everybody have a different ideal of what that looks like until they really find out what it looks like. I believe women go in. Majority of women go in, and they're being faithful to their husband, loyal, not cheating, not infidelity. The majority. I think.
What you mean, going in or while they're in it?
When they say I do, that woman understands as a married woman, I am to be submissive.
Well, if that's the case, why are more women filing for divorce?
Because she's tired of talking.
But baby,
because
it comes with hold on.
No. When you get married, you're not thinking that your husband is gonna keep cheating on you. When you get married, you don't think that we're gonna be unable to have conversations. When you get married, you're not thinking that your husband is going to refuse your wisdom. You're not thinking when you get married that if I keep talking to him and I keep telling him I want this or I desire this or this needs to change, and you're going to keep getting this pushback. Women are not filing for divorce immediately. Women, well, unless it's infidelity, I can see that, or he end up putting his hands on
80% of divorces are filed by women.
Yes, but that isn't
That's huge.
Yes, but at some point, if I feel like I'm in this marriage by myself, if I feel like we are not moving ahead, if I feel like I am doing it alone and you have checked out, you have abandoned the marriage, you have abandoned your family, you in the street, what am I supposed to do? I think men will sit in a marriage.
Life do you pour.
Yes, that is correct. But I just feel like as women, that's why women file. Women, from what I have seen, a woman is going to go over and beyond to make her marriage work, to get her husband to love her.
So why do you stop when it's not going well? I don't want to hear
No, baby, come on.
Stop, baby. Because you're the one who's making the assumption that these women are doing everything they can, and
that's what you took. That's what you took.
Oh my God, what did you?
No, what I'm saying is that when it comes to filing for a divorce, it is because I have. Most of the time, I have done
everything they could.
Everything that I think that I could. But it's not until you go to coaching or counseling that you realize, oh, it's some areas in me, or it's some things that I should have done differently. It's a lot of people out here in marriages that are feeling alone because the other person has checked out or never was in it.
I get it.
And I believe men will stay in a marriage unhappy and be cool with it, but he in the marriage, but he living his life, and that's why y'all don't file. And I think also that men don't file because it looks like I failed, and I don't want to look like a failure, so I'll just stay in it. I have another life. You do you, I'ma do me, and you never file. And women just be like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I feel like that's
okay. And if you look at the average life expectancy, the average time of a marriage, you'll be shocked at how quick marriages are people are getting divorced. Women are throwing in the towel, and I simply believe when it gets difficult, they quit. I don't want to do it no more. I'm tired. I can't do it no more. I quit.
So tell me why you think men don't file for divorce?
Because women are doing it.
No. Okay, take that off the thing. Why do you think? Because a man and a woman is in the exact same marriage.
Right. A man or
woman. Well, maybe not. They in the same union, but can be in two totally different marriages. That's real. We are married, but you in one marriage and I'm in another marriage. That's possible.
Of course, that's possible.
If the wife did not file, tell me why do you believe men do not file for divorce?
Because we're not willing to quit as easily as women. We're not quitters as easy. Well, let me rephrase that. We're not willing to throw in the towel and quit as quickly.
And so what is he doing? And he ain't quitting on the marriage, but what is he doing to make the marriage better?
I can't say
nothing.
Baby,
Nothing.
You can't say that either.
I ain't saying 100%. No, he ain't quitting, but he also ain't on the other end. Let's see how we can make this work. Let's figure out how we can make it better. Because if he was doing that,
believe all women.
Because if he was doing that,
that's absurd.
She would not. Women don't want to leave their husband. The woman that she said I do, the man that she said I do to,
say that's not true.
She does not want to leave him. And I'm gonna tell you that I have had women. I'm in a lot of marriage groups, and women are the ones trying to figure out how do we make it work. How do we get past this? How do we get past that?
Okay.
When you have somebody that don't want to do it with you. When you have somebody that's out here that has other women. So to say, oh, we don't throw in the towel quick. You're not throwing in the towel, but you're not doing anything to save your marriage. You're not doing anything to make it better.
Yeah, that's so. The fact that just coming out your mouth is actually
so. Let me ask you this. If you felt like the man saw the issue and he's trying to make his marriage better, you still feel like the woman who is crying out that ends up going to file, you feel like if her husband was actively loving her and trying to be a best friend.
First of all,
you believe
what you said, you really should apologize, because listening to Candace, men are the reason why these marriages are jacked up. Women are the only reason why. The women are the only thing that's fighting for their marriage. Men are not doing. We're not trying to fight for our families. We're not trying to do that. If we listen to what you literally just gave a speech on, they're coming out your mouth. You're telling me you didn't make that assumption? You literally just said this.
I'm going to let you finish. I'm not saying that the woman is doing everything right in the marriage.
I didn't say that. That did come out of my mouth, so I don't know why you said it. I literally said, listening to you is all men's fault. Women are the only.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
That's not what I'm saying. That's what you heard, but keep going. Keep going. Don't worry about that. You talking to me. You're talking to me. You're talking to me. Talk to me.
Yes. You literally were making women are the reason women are fighting. These men are not fighting.
Do you think most husbands are fighting to save their marriage when the marriages are in a bad?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh man, you come on.
Come on. I feel the same way with you. You according to you, man.
Let me ask you this. When you
Candace don't believe men are fighting for their marriage.
Do you talk? No, I don't believe. I believe there are some men fighting for their marriages, and I do believe that. So let's get that understood, okay?
Well, maybe you need to speak it.
So let me ask. Well, y'all don't. You say you don't even talk to your friends about marriage, and you said men do not talk. We don't talk about marriage, right?
We don't discuss our issues. If my wife is acting crazy and she's doing this, most of the time, if you're not careful, they don't. But to say men don't speak of marriage
so let me ask you,
all.
for you, when you with you and your friends, and people like that, do y'all talk about marriage? Do y'all talk about marriage?
We have.
Okay. To the dynamic of this is what's going on in my marriage.
Ask the question, baby.
And I'm gonna ask both of y'all because according to him, they don't really talk. So I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna open it up to everybody. In those conversations when things are not going well in your marriage, men, do you hear your friends saying, "Man, I'm trying this. Man, I'm. This is what I'm doing." And to make my marriage better. Do you hear men talking about what he is doing to make his marriage better?
Yes, I have.
Or just individually?
Yes, you heard that.
You heard that. What are men doing to make their marriage better?
Stop drinking. I've heard men literally I've heard brothers talk about how they're drinking almost destroyed their family. Them going out like, nah, man, I almost lost my family behind this.
Mm-hmm.
The drinking, the getting out, cheating, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I heard? Those are the three main things: drinking, getting out, just not spending time with their wives.
And so they
stop.
So they saying that they and when they did that, their wife still wasn't trying to be in the marriage. She still wanted a divorce, although he's making these changes for her or for the family, that she's still desiring a divorce.
I want you to play back this when we finish to hear what you were saying.
I know what I was saying. I don't have to play it back. I know what I'm saying. The question was, why are so many women filing for divorce? And for you, it is women give up quicker than men. Mm-hmm. I disagree that women give up quicker than men.
What do you call it when you throw in for when you
I believe
for divorce 80% of the time? What is that called?
I don't believe that it is. It's just giving up on the marriage. I know the statistics, and I know I just believe that men, it becomes difficult for women to stay in marriages that where she feels alone or where she feels.
For men, it's difficult. It's a lot of men that are struggling in their marriage because they feel like they by themselves. Their woman ain't fighting. Their woman is pretty much done checked out. She's doing her. It's a lot of men in that situation. The difference is this man is not going to the courthouse and filing for divorce as quickly as she is.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go off of what I see, what I read, what I know. And when I say that, when we have couples come to us, the person that's on the line that has booked the session is the woman. Most of the time, again, in the same marriage, and the man doesn't want to be there. And that's not out the ordinary. Majority of the time when it comes to this marriage is in a bad place, it is the woman who is reaching out to try to get some help and some support for the marriage.
But don't equate what we see as the norm.
No, it's not
the norm.
It is.
So why you just said it's not?
But as a woman reaching out, it is very much so the norm. Men don't even go and get help for themselves. They're not getting help for the marriage. It is the woman who is reaching out, trying to, and I'm not, because it is some brothers out there that's like, I want to save my marriage. Baby, let's do this. I want to save my marriage. I'm going to make some shifts within myself. And speaking to his wife and covering his wife and praying for his wife. Yes, I know it is dudes out there that get what marriage is about and is actively trying to save his marriage. Yes, that is out there. But I'm also saying that when it comes to the marriage, and it is a lot of women out there that feels alone. And if you do the research and you reading and stuff, you're gonna find that. And I hope you share everybody, because he has a tendency of, okay, let me click.
But you don't want me to show everybody.
I will. A man doesn't leave when he loves his woman. Women quit too easy because they make too many emotional decisions, especially when the house is not their influence. Majority of men are not inherently cheaters. Other than that, they want the man to stay the blame for everything, including their happiness, when that's not his responsibility. It's hers. The divorce rate proves it all. And I would say this, I was reading something and it said that the people that are getting a divorce, and this was mind-blowing to me, that if you got married before the age of 18, if you had a kid before you got married, and it was one other thing, those are the people that on record has the highest number of divorce. If that was you,
if you got married before 18, you was a baby.
And I would say we are under the presumption that
Yeah,
the people that are
I-
getting
I'm sure that
divorced
happens.
are the people who are actually that married for love and married for the marriage union. We have to understand that a lot of the dynamics when it comes to divorce rate, that some people, not everybody's getting married because they love the person that they with. Not everybody is getting married because, yes, I'm ready to be a husband. It is people out there that's getting married for financial reasons only, or to have a baby, or because I'm just tired of being single, so I want to be with you. We got to understand that it is a lot. It's probably just as many people is getting married for the right reason. It is people getting married for the wrong reason. And then once you get into marriage, you're going to find out real quick that if you did not get married for love, what we going through ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Or I done got my baby and so now I can be out. Or my finances are now cleared up so I can be out. So let's not get it mistrued on that part either, that the most of the marriages are people that are divorcing that actually got married because they truly loved one another. There are men who are fighting hard for their wives, and there are wives who are fighting hard for their husbands as well. Agreed. The issue is that some men and women are not willing to work to make the marriage better because they have to leave that selfish mindset. I totally agree. And so, and just with that, I guess how I would like to wrap up this part of the conversation is saying, just because you are mentally there, if this is a note to you, just because you feel like you're physically in the marriage doesn't mean that you haven't divorced the marriage. Just because you are there doesn't mean that you're still all in on the marriage. Yes, one of us can financially go and check out and do it on paper, but there are some unspoken check out that's happening. Man or woman, if a man go and file, the woman could very well be in the marriage, but she done divorced the marriage. She just ain't did it on paper, and vice versa. So just know that I'm talking to men and women. Just because you are still in the marriage do not mean that you are an active participant in making the marriage work. Your presence is not enough. All right? I'll leave it at that. And this kind of goes into what we were saying. I said a lot of times we don't have to have a divorce. We don't gotta get divorced, but we need to divorce the things that we are doing that is causing our marriage to feel like hell.
Say that one more time.
You don't need to file for divorce. You don't need to get a divorce from each other. Mm-hmm. But you do need to divorce the patterns and the things that is causing your marriage to feel like hell.
I can dig that. Yeah.
So what you hear when I say that?
You don't have to end it. You just need to end or stop doing whatever that was causing you to think about ending it. Mm-hmm. But here's what I've learned. To get people to see that they're wrong, for some people that's extremely hard. Good God Almighty. That is extremely hard for them to do. No matter what they say, for them to actually admit or to even see that they said or did something wrong is almost impossible. It takes an act of God. It's difficult for some.
I like that. I like an act of God.
It's difficult for some people to see their wrongdoing. They think they're right. Don't let them have certain titles behind them. Good God. I've learned, and I've truly believed this. Certain people because they have so many titles, doctors, professional. I don't mean actual doctors. I mean people with doctorates,
doctors, you can be a doctor and
masters, or who've done counseling. I've done this. I know. I've done the work. And they're always right. More times than not.
Okay.
And if you haven't, you don't have your doctor, you don't have this level of education, you haven't done the work that they've done, no, you're not right. You're wrong majority of the time.
I don't know. I think that
and I've spoke to people on that.
I think that is a reality. I feel like this is that I love what he said. It takes an act of God. What I have become very clear on is this: is we can't do marriage without God. Period. We cannot do marriage without God. Each person has to have a relationship with God. When you have that relationship, you start handling not only yourself differently, but you handle each other differently. And so, like what Mun is saying, it takes an act of God for people to realize where they wrong or this, that, and the other. But I would say, as a husband, if you are in alignment with God and you understand the biblical things and you understand how you got to talk to your wife, how you can support her in seeing her wrong, because I know most men are going to say this about women, that the women can't be wrong, but I know it's women too that say they husband same thing. And so it's a way that you can talk to her to say, babe, this, that, and the other. But if your tone is harsh, if your tone is this, and you make her feel like I want to just prove you wrong, or you wrong and I want you to know it, it goes back to what God says about how you supposed to love, how God loves the church, y'all. And those that don't know what the church means, it just means the people. How God loves the people, how Jesus loved the people. That is the way you supposed. So you can get your wife to see things when you're showing her from a loving place. But that takes you being a certain type of way and knowing, who you are or whatever, and vice versa. Women, you can't talk crazy to him and expect him to see what it is that you would like him to see. And a lot of times, even with that, it's like this. This is something else for me. What I've learned is when God wants you to change something, He's gonna show it. But if you're not in a place where you are receptive and open to seeing the changes God is trying to do in you, we will tend to miss out. It's scriptures in the Bible that says when I plant the seed, it can either fall on concrete, or it can fall in the weeds, or it can fall on good ground. It's like 4 different places. It fall on rock, but you want it to fall in the good soil. And so I would say for me, that I'm gonna speak for me, when I was in a place of before I gained like the knowledge that I have now, the information that I have now, and number one, the relationship that I had with God, there was things that I couldn't see. Although, it might have been different people saying this or saying that, whether it was direct or indirect, I couldn't see it. But now that I'm on a path of self-awareness where I want to know, what I have discovered is you will think something about yourself, and then you will hear it in other places. And at that moment, I've been doing like, okay, like this is where God is desiring a shift or a change in me. Or He might say something, or my best friend might say something to me, and I may not agree with it, but then it's like, what I do know is that if that's something God wants and needs me to change, I'm gonna keep hearing it somehow, some way, and then I get to make a decision. In order, do I want to be obedient to what I hear, or no? And so going back to divorcing patterns, y'all, we don't have to get a divorce. But if we can divorce how we talking to each other and choose to talk to each other with love, if we can divorce the mindset of I'm in this by myself and keep thinking, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. Let me pray for my husband. Let me pray for my wife. If we can divorce the things of going out and committing infidelity and really commit to our union, that's going to take away the heartache and the pain of that. And so if we can divorce the things that we're doing that is preventing us from being close, if you divorce those things and break up with those things, you allow for the closeness to be built. But I would say, it's and divorce some mindsets. Because it's some mindsets that are destroying marriages. I think and I'm gonna let you talk because I think I've been kind of going. Go ahead.
You don't do that. I hate when, Lord, I hate when you'll be going. I better go ahead. Huh?
But you should be following me. But
I am.
You over here texting. He ain't following. He
Baby,
ain't following. He texting
been,
in the middle of a show. I'm thinking he on the. I don't know what I'm thinking he doing, but he texting. But I'm gonna let you go ahead because I've been talking.
And it ain't never stopped you before. No, I agree. You have to divorce the mindset. Um, but that's again, it's easier said than done. Some people to see the errors of their ways, it it's difficult. It is extremely, extremely difficult. I mean, it really is for some people.
I think I can agree with that.
Why you looking like a butt? I agree, but
it's not a butt.
Okay, yeah. So I just think it's difficult for some.
I think I will add to that. I believe, and I'm saying this because I've heard it. You know, even because in order to make a change, you gotta be all right with looking at you, and that is difficult to make a change. Yeah, and you think I heard this that only 1% of people actually in the whole world, which that's a lot, but still only 1% of people actually go and get counseling and coaching. And I believe it is difficult for people to look at themselves because I don't know, it makes you feel like you're wrong. It makes you feel like I can't do nothing right, or maybe you've had this voice, and whether it's parenting or whatever, that always made you feel like a certain type of way. And in order to shift your mindset, y'all, we gotta be willing to look at us. We gotta be willing to talk to somebody about us. You're going to have to do that to shift and change. Is when you're breaking a pattern, it's not gonna be easy at first, but then that goes to you ain't got to do it by yourself. So many times we try to make shifts in who we are by ourselves, and we're not pulling on the power of God, and we just want to do it by ourselves. And it's not. When you're breaking a pattern, you're going to need support, whether it's support from your husband or your wife or your friends. I don't care what kind of pattern you breaking, you may need some support because you cannot do it by yourself. And shifting mindsets, when you have a mindset and you 40, 50, 30 years old and it's been your mindset for decades, it will not be easy. But still, if you're married, you have somebody there to support you. How are they supporting you though? How are they supporting you in the shift? Do they make you feel like you got to do it by yourself? Do they make you feel like, I can't talk to them about what I'm struggling with or this, that, and the other because of how they're going to make me feel? So I think mindset shifting, I would tell you this, it is freeing. If you can shift your mindset, you can shift your life. And I'm going to tell you this, it ain't as bad as one will make it out to be. It ain't. It is not as bad as people will make. It might be difficult. It ain't as bad as one make it out to be when you really want to do it. It's not. It might be challenging, but it ain't. It ain't hard. It ain't. Just my perspective, it's not like that. And it's almost like when you learn how to do something at first, like when you learn how to ride the bike, you might fall off. You might fall off, and you got to go through the fall off, but then eventually you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Okay, now I got it. Now I know. Now I'm on the path, and if you keep on the path, then it just keeps getting easier and easier and easier. But you gotta want to start. You gotta start. So we ain't gotta get a divorce, y'all. What would you say to the people that are thinking about divorce?
Pray, truly seek God in that. And before you do, really have a deep conversation and hear from Him, and try counseling, try coaching. Uh, don't throw in the towel without seeking help first.
All right. And so for those that are tuned in still, you all, we want to invite you out to the spiritual marriage retreat. If you know that your marriage is suffering, you know that you are tired of it, you don't want a divorce, you don't want to even go through the whole process because it's going to cost you the emotional and mental and spiritual warfare that a divorce causes. Let's prevent that. And so we want to invite you out to the spiritual marriage retreat. It is going down October the 6th through the 8th in Granbury, Texas. We still have space, and you can be engaged or married, and it's for couples that maybe you even just need to strengthen your marriage, because that's a reality. You've been married for 10 years and you've never done nothing to enhance your marriage other than date nights. Like this right here, this is deeper. This is deeper. This is for real, like healing taking places, for real, genuine conversations taking places, being heard, working through difficult conversations, becoming more of a team, reestablishing your vision and your commitment to one another, healing from things that the other person don't even know that they did to you and you're still holding on to. So it's gonna open up and invite a place for that to happen, because if we are going to get to forever, there's a constant change and improvement that we have to desire. So again, October the 6th through the 8th, it's a romantic getaway, no kids, no jobs, limited phone access. We're gonna have Mon gonna be talking to the men only. I'll be talking to the women only. And yeah, we're gonna empower some couples. So make sure y'all are in the building. You can go to www.spiritualmarriageretreat.com and you all can find all the information. It's on all our platforms. So if this is your first time following us, make sure that you go to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All right? And so I'm just going to leave it with that. I'm not going to even do what somebody should have told me. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the show on today. And just remembering the difference of wanting a wife or a husband and actually being married, and understanding that you do not have to get a divorce. Just divorce the patterns and the things that are keeping a wedge between you all. We love you, and we'll see you next week. We out. Happy Father's Day, which we'll have a show before Father's Day. But happy Father's Day.
You really went
in advance.
2 weeks away.